Givaradari. He's gonna play. Yasodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Chira Vanachari Yamuna. Yamuna Chira Vanachari Yamuna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopijana Balaba Grivaradari Jaya. Gopijana Balaba Grivaradari Jaya Gopi. Yasodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Chera Vanachari Yamuna. Yamuna Chira Vanachari Yamuna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitago Haribo, 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 Nitago Haribo. Nitai go Haribo, 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 Nitago Haribo, Nitago. Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrakaracharya Sutra Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrakaracharya Sutra Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. ISKCON Founder Prabhupada ki. Namacharya Slavdas Thakur ki. Prem Sikha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sira Beta Gadahara Sivashadi Go Bhaktabinda ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopina Samakunda Radha Kunde Giri Govardhan ki. Vrindavan Dham ki. Mayapur Dham ki. Dwaka Dham ki. Jagannapur Dham ki. Ganga mayy Yamuna mayy ki. Tasdevi Bhakti Devi ki. Entire Gopi Mande. All glory to the Sami devotees. All glory to the Sami devotees. All glories to the Sami devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Agyana Chimenda Shagananganan Salakaya Chaksu Sumitan Yena Tasmāt Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Mano-Bhishtam Stapita Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Gadamanyam Dadati Sapadantikan Vandehan Sri Guru Sritam Padakamalan Sri Guru Vaishnamscha Sri Rupam Sagyata Sagana Raghunatha Vitam Sajivan Sadhuitam Svadhutam Parajanan Saitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Parasagana Lalita Sri Vishakavitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Haripiye Vanchakapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhi Bevacha Patitanam Pavana Vibhyo Vaishnav Vibhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prima Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurati Sri Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anandalila Maya Vigrayo, Imabada Vichavi Sundarayo, Tasma Maha, Primarasa, Pudayo, Chaitanya Chandayo, Namana Mastate, Chaitanya Chandayo, Namana Mastate. So I thank everyone for being here this evening for our nightly Bhagavad Gita discourse, Bhagavad Gita class. So we are in the 8th chapter. So we are in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Is the content, the title, which is Attaining the Supreme. Yeah, we're going to get to that very soon. The slok is on about 8.7. So this is called Taraka Brahma Yoga. This is the yoga of attaining the Supreme. Taraka Brahma Yoga, that's the content, that's the chapter content. Taraka Brahma Yoga. So, attaining the Supreme, the Lord Krishna is, in the beginning, Arjuna had asked some few questions. That what is Brahma, what is the self, what is the karma? So he has asked many, and how do one attain him? So Arjuna asked this question, and then the Lord started replying, what is Brahma, what is the self, what is karma, what is creation, and all that. So, again, so this is going on, because in order to understand one's relationship with the Lord, this subject matter must be known. This is part of Sambandha. Sambandha means one's relation. Sambandha, what connects us with God? Who are we? What is our position? What is our nature with the creation? So this knowledge must be learned, must be understood, in order to properly connect oneself with the Lord in terms of entering into the relationship, which is a science itself, the science of Abhidai. Abhidai means the relationship with the Lord. So these topics are discussed here in the chapter 8. Actually, the fact is the whole of the 6 chapters, from 7 to 12, it's all about the science of relationship with the Lord. It's Sambandha, and then Abhidai, the procedures that takes place in that relationship, and then the ultimate goal of life, prayojana, the ultimate goal of life. So the whole science of Krishna consciousness is divided into those 3: Sambandha, Abhidai, and prayojana. So today we said text number 7, which is the focus. It's a very, very, very beautiful verse about Krishna telling Arjuna that he has to remember him always. So text number 7, text is there on the board. Tasmāt sarveṣu kāleṣu mam anusmara yudhya mayy arpita-mano-buddhir mam evaiṣyasy asaṁśayaḥ tasmāt sarveṣu kāleṣu mam anusmara yudhya mayy arpita-mano-buddhir mam evaiṣyasy asaṁśayaḥ tasmāt sarveṣu kāleṣu mam anusmara yudhya mayy arpita-mano-buddhir mam evaiṣyasy asaṁśayaḥ. tasmāt, therefore, sarveṣu, at all, kāleṣu, time, all time, me, anusmara, go on remembering, yudhya, fight, cha, also, mayy, unto me, arpita, surrendering, manaḥ, mind, buddhiḥ, intellect, unto me, surely, eṣyasi, you will attain, asaṁśayaḥ, beyond a doubt. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Kṛṣṇa, and at the same time, carry out your prescribed duties of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me, and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without a doubt. Purport. This instruction to Arjuna is very important for all men engaged in material activities. The Lord does not say that one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements. One can continue them and at the same time think of Kṛṣṇa by chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa. This will free one from material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Kṛṣṇa. By chanting Kṛṣṇa's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet, Kṛṣṇaloka, without a doubt, asaṁśayaḥ. So the Lord is giving the prescription, actually the Lord is giving it the direction on how to attain Him. Tasmāt sarveṣu kāleṣu anusmara yudhya mayy arpita-mano-buddhir evaiṣyasy asaṁśayaḥ. Therefore, my dear Arjuna, always think of me in the form of Kṛṣṇa, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting with your activities dedicated to me and your mind fixed on me. You will attain me without a doubt. So Kṛṣṇa said that you should always remember me and at the same time perform your prescribed duty of fighting. Because Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and Kshatriya, they are meant to fight. So he said, with your mind and intellect devoted to me, you will attain me without a doubt, asaṁśayaḥ, without a doubt. So this is Krishna's giving his emphatic instruction that yes, if you think of me always, even though you have to do your duty because you cannot give up your duty. Do your duty by thinking of me. By thinking of me, you will attain me. So that's the prescription of how one can attain the Lord. It's not that by by taking sannyas, renouncing all activities, go to the forest and start meditating. That's not the process of attaining the Lord. Because everyone in this material world has got a particular duty, has got a particular samskara that everyone has got in this material world. So which means everyone had to act according to their particular duty. And one cannot give up one's duty thinking that it's so difficult and do another person's duty. For example, if you're an administrator, you cannot say, well, this administrative duty is so difficult, so therefore let me become a Brahmana so that I don't have to worry about being an administrator, because when you're an administrator, sometimes you have to take so many decisions that are sometimes not palatable. Because being an administrator, it involves discrimination, be able to determine right and wrong among the people. So you have to be able to determine right and wrong, so all these things have to be taken into consideration, which means sometimes you're a devotee, at the same time you tend to be an administrator, you have to factor in all these things, so it becomes difficult things sometimes. And that's why normally in our society, the position of being a temple president or being a temple manager is always a very, very difficult position. Like a devotee, a serious devotee will want to do any service except being a temple manager, because it's very difficult. I remember long ago, we used to have a joke back in the days in our temple in the West, we used to have a joke that there was a yogi. There was one yogi, he took a vow of silence. He took a vow of silence, which means he will not talk to anyone. He was observing meditation. He will not talk to anyone. So he took a vow of silence. So people will try to tell him something or talk to him. He just completely no, nothing. But somebody went to whisper on his ear. He said, "Be ISKCON temple president." And then he shouted, no, he started shouting, no. So he stopped, he gave up his monovrata. He said, no, I will never do that. So, because being a manager is a tough thing. Sometimes you lose your sanity. But Krishna says, no, because it's difficult, you cannot give it up. The criteria is simply to think of me. Think of me, anusmara, yudhya, but at the same time also, do your duty of fighting. Because in the beginning, Arjuna said that, I have to kill all my relatives, I have to kill my teachers, So this is not good. This is not good. This fighting is not good. So therefore, Krishna, I want to go to the forest. I'm ready. Let them attack me. I don't care. I'm going to give up my weapon. I'm going to go to the forest. I'm going to take some years. But Krishna said, no. I'm just this, Krishna said, no, you cannot do that. Krishna said, you cannot do that. You cannot give up fighting, because first of all, this fighting is dharma yudh. It's a religious fighting, which is done on my behalf. So therefore, you have to fight, and that's why Krishna is convincing Arjuna here that yes, the perfection of life is to constantly remember me, but you have to do this remembrance while at the same time carrying on your duty. Anusmara yudhya. Remember me, and at the same time also also fight also. Keep on fighting. So which means Krishna did not tell Arjuna that yes, just give up this duty of fighting, go to the forest, and go and sit in one place and just meditate on me. So attainment of God, attaining God is about doing what is prescribed for one, what is the prescription for one. That is the method of attainment. But the key, there are two rules. There are two rules in Krishna consciousness. These two rules are, what are those two rules in Krishna consciousness? Can anybody say? There are two rules we have. Exactly. You know, that is smata vyansatan Krishna, satam Vishnu. Vishmata vyuna jatuchit, which means always remember Krishna, Vishnu, and never forget him. These are the only two rules. If you can do that, then you will attain the perfection of life. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, never forget him. These are the only two rules that we have. In the previous verse, the Lord telling Arjuna that, Yam yam vapi smaram, what is that? Yam yam vapi smaram bhavan chajanti ante kalevaram tantam evati konteyat sadata bhava bhavita. That whatever a person thinking of at the time of death, that is what he will attain in his next life. Which means whatever you are thinking at the time of your death, you will attain that destination in your next life. So which means if you are thinking of your dog, you become a dog. Whatever you're thinking of is what you become. We have the case of Bharat Maharaj. So Bharat Maharaj, even though he was already practicing Krishna consciousness, he was already a sadhu, he did his duty very, very nicely, and then he took sannyas, he went to the forest, and he already attained the stage of bhava. The stage of bhava is a very highly elevated stage in Krishna consciousness. He already attained that stage of bhava, whereby one has surpassed all the anatas. The stage of bhava is a very exalted stage. So Bharat Maharaj already attained that stage, but somehow he saw a deer that was being chased by a tiger. This is a pregnant deer being chased by a tiger. And when he saw the pregnant deer being chased by a tiger, and this deer was running for its life, and then there was a river, so he needed to jump across the river, but just before this deer did that, she gave birth to a child, to a baby deer. So, of course, this other deer gave up its life, gave up the life, and it was the baby deer that is there. So when Bharat Maharaj saw this, Bharat Maharaj, he became very compassionate upon this baby deer. So Bharat Maharaj, he figured that, this deer has no protection. So therefore, let me give baby deer protection. And then, while doing his spiritual practice, his meditation, the same time also, he always paying attention to this deer. The deer was growing, he was paying attention. He became very, very affectionate to the deer. So it so happened that, so Bali Maharaj, somehow or other, he gave up his spiritual practice because his attention was focused on the deer. Always thought, so this deer is under my protection, I must protect this deer. I must nurture this deer. And then, somehow, one day, he was walking, and then he tripped, he fell over, and then he was about to give up his life. And just because what happened is that this deer had run away to the forest. This deer had run away, and Bharat Maharaj, he was like kind of very anxious that, what has happened to this deer? Has this deer been attacked by eating or by a tiger or something? He was so worried about this deer that so much so that he fell down, he was about to give up his life. And just as he was about to give up his life, this deer came to him. So while seeing this deer, he gave up his life. And because of his attachment which he has developed for the deer, so in his next life, he became a deer in his next life. He became a deer. So the Lord said, whatever you're thinking of at the time of your death, that's what you become. And normally, what do we think of at the time of our death? What do we think of? It's those things that we develop attachment for. It's those things that we develop attachment for. That's what we think of at the time of our death. So which means we cannot say, okay, we are practicing Krishna consciousness, and at the same time, we're still maintaining our attachment. We cannot, if you do that, which means we are simply playing with fire. You always say that you want to cross a river, and you want to cross a river, and you put your leg in two boats. Let's say you want to cross River Yamuna, and then you will say, okay, let me cross Yamuna with two boats, one leg this way, another leg that way, in two separate boats. So obviously, you're going to be frustrated trying to cross a river with two boats. You have to choose one. So our attempt to cross a river with two boats is just like that. It's like we want to practice Krishna consciousness, and at the same time also we are maintaining our attachment. We don't want to give up the attachment. But Krishna says, no, think of me only. It's a mam anusmara. Think of me only. Remember me only. That's what Krishna is saying. Remember me only. And the Lord said, what did he say in the verse? He said, sarveṣu, kāleṣu, at all time, in all circumstances. Which means the thinking of Krishna is not something that we just have to do when it's convenient for us. A devotee is the one who is always thinking of Krishna. Never give up the thought of Krishna. That's a devotee. The Lord said, tasmāt, sarveṣu, kāleṣu, anusmara. Therefore, my dear Arjuna, you should always think of me at all times. At all time, in all circumstances. And of course, as Purport point out in the Purport, and what is the best way to think of Krishna? The most practical way is to chant the Lord's name. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. That's the best way to think of the Lord, because normally there are meditations, which is called, there are meditation, which are called, for those who have done the high stage of bhakti, there's what we call lila smaranam, especially lila smaranam, which are the 8, because there are daily pastimes there are 8 daily activities of Lord Sri Krishna. This is called lila. This begins from the chanting lila all the way to the last, from early morning to the last, till early morning till late at night. So the Lord's pastime is going on every day and every hours of the day. So the devotee is always thinking of this pastime, that Krishna is waking up, Krishna is going to take care of the cows, to milk the cows, and then Krishna take this breakfast with Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, and Krishna going to the forest to take the cows to the forest, going to the forest, then playing with his friends, and this activity it all goes on different part of the day. So which means why engaging in all one's activity, one is simply thinking of all these lila, these various pastimes, and one never stop thinking of them, and one is thinking of them to the extent that one may actually become very, very obsessed with it. Because Krishna consciousness has to be like an obsession, that sometimes one becomes like a madman. And it has to be, thinking of Krishna has to be obsession, because there's no other thing, no other thought except Krishna, no other thought except Krishna. That there was, and there are so many pastimes of how sometimes the devotees, they they become completely oblivious of all their surroundings. Totally oblivious of all their surroundings. That usually they will not know what is going on. There was one time Rupa Goswami, he was early morning, and he was engaging in the last marana, engaging in the thinking of the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna and the cowherd boyfriends. So there was some particular lila which the Lord was performing with the gopis, and this lila, so Rupa Goswami is actually seeing, he's doing lila smarana, he's actually seeing the lila, and as he was seeing the lila, he was smiling, he was laughing at the lila. He was totally absorbing this, so he was laughing at the lila. While doing so, there was one sadhu who was walking by. So one sadhu was walking by, and this sadhu, he happened to be disabled. He has some kind of a deformity. So when this sadhu, he walked past Rupa Goswami's Bhajakunti, and he saw that Rupa Goswami was simply laughing. So this sadhu thought that Rupa Goswami was laughing at him because he was disabled. So he thought that, so this sadhu became offended that, oh, Rupa Goswami is laughing at me because of my disability. But Rupa Goswami, he was totally oblivious of anything surrounding. He was simply deeply absorbed in lila. So anyway, this sadhu became very offended, and then he left. So the next day, Sri Rupa Goswami, because normally every day there's always lila smarana every day, time to meditate on the Krishna's 8 daily activities. But this particular day, Rupa Goswami was not getting, he was not getting the lila. The lila was not coming. Nothing was coming this particular day. So he was wondering what could happen. How come today I'm not getting any lila today? How come? So he asked Sanatana Goswami that what has happened? I'm doing my regular meditation, but I'm not getting any lila. There's no lila is coming. So what could happen? So Sanatana Goswami said, well, maybe, could it be that you offended the Vaishnava or something like that? So Rupa Goswami said, there's just no chance of him offending the Vaishnava. He's the ideal devotee. Ideal devotee they respect all the Vaishnava. They offer obeisances, they obeisance to every Vaishnava, irrespective of what caliber Vaishnava. It doesn't matter high or low Vaishnava, but they offer their respect to one and all. They're very, very humble. So what is the possibility of offending a Vaishnava? It's just not there. So Sanatana Goswami suggests, okay, maybe why don't you prepare a feast, and invite all the sadhus, all the devotees, all the Vaishnavas to come. And if someone didn't come, then maybe that person is offended. You can be able to tell who will not come. So the next day, Rupa Goswami, he made a big feast. He cooked a big feast. And then invited all the sadhus, surrounding sadhus, to come and take prasad. So everyone came except this particular sadhu who felt offended because he saw Rupa Goswami laughing. He thought that Rupa Goswami was laughing at him. So he did not come to the program. He did not come for the feast. So Sanatana Goswami said, okay, yeah, so this person must be the one that get offended. So therefore, let's call him and ask him what's the reason, what is the purpose, why he did not attend the prasad bhojan. So this sadhu came when he was asked by Sanatana Goswami, what happened? Why you did not accept the invitation? He said that, well, when I came here the other day, And as I reached the kuti of Rupa Goswami, I saw that he was laughing at me. I saw that he was laughing at me because of my deformity. He was laughing at me. So it was explained to me that no, that's not the case. Rupa Goswami was engaged in Lila. It was Lila Smarana. He was not laughing at you. He did not even know anyone was present. He could not see. He was totally internal. He didn't know anything external going on. So therefore, be pacified. He did not laugh at. So this sadhu, so he became pacified. Oh, okay. So he understood. So he felt offended, and he didn't feel offended anymore. So in this way, the normal Lila Smarana of Rupa Goswami continued. So the point I'm trying to emphasize is to somehow or other, we have to always be in thought, of the Lord. So which means we cannot give up our duty, because the Lord's emphasizing here not to give up our duty. Do your duty, and at the same time, constantly thinking of the Lord, constantly. And because you are seeing that your duty is actually another way to please Krishna. Because what is the duty? The duty is to please Krishna. So you are doing that duty, and at the same time also you never lose focus of Krishna. And at that duty you become your, what we call, the kind of bath. Anyway, that duty, which is meant to actually please Krishna, you perform that duty, and that duty became the impetus for your constant remembrance of Krishna. For your constant remembrance of Krishna. And it's not that we have to wait till the end of our life before we remember Krishna. Because if we have to wait till the end of our life before we can remember Krishna, we may fail. We may fail. Because what you will remember at the time of your death is those things which you've been doing, which you have cultivated attachment for your whole life. That's what you will remember at the time of your death. So it's very, very rare for someone to be doing all kinds of activities that has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness throughout one's life, and then all of a sudden, the time of his death comes, and then he remembers Krishna. It's very, very rare, very, 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 very rare. And that's such an occasion, if it happens, this only has to do with some special mercy. So there was one devotee one time. This devotee, who was very, very, is one of those devotees who was instrumental. He joined Prabhupada in the very, very early days. And he was very, very highly instrumental in pioneering Krishna consciousness in many, many countries. And so he served Prabhupada quite well, in pioneering Krishna consciousness in all kind of way. But when Prabhupada left the planet, so this devotee blooped. He gave up the practice, and then he went to the material world, and he was engaged in so many, many sinful activities. He was engaged in so many, many activities of sense gratification. He totally gave up the practice of Krishna consciousness. He gave it up, totally, bloop. Somehow this devotee contracted AIDS. He contracted AIDS, and he was just in a room by himself waiting for his death. So he contracted AIDS, waiting for his death. He was just rotting in his room. But somehow, one devotee saw him. So one devotee saw this devotee, this former devotee, rotting, waiting for his, struggling for his death. So somehow this devotee saw him, and immediately, it's actually Mataji, immediately went to remove him from that room and took him to our Los Angeles temple. And when we took him to our Los Angeles temple, so devotees, they put him in a nice room, and all the leaders, all these ISKCON leaders who have served with him before, so they all came around him. They all came surrounding him. So they all came around him, chanting, and then this devotee. So at the end of his life, he was simply chanting, oh, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Like he was actually saying, Prabhupada has come to deliver him. So this devotee was saying, Prabhupada, oh, Prabhupada. And then while chanting Prabhupada, he gave up his life. So which means he got special mercy of being able to call out the lost name or the lost pure devotee's name, and then that become the basis of his deliverance. But that is very, very rare. It's a very rare thing. So we cannot expect that we will do all kind of craziness in our life and then expect that we will become, at the end of our life, we become Krishna conscious, and then we go to, La Prabhupada said here that, go to Kṛṣṇaloka. No. Just like here in Vrindavan, there are so many monkeys, there are so many pigs in Vrindavan. So Prabhupada said, all those monkeys and pigs in Vrindavan, these are former devotees. These are former devotees. They are so attached to sex life and all these things. So they become monkeys and pigs in their next life. And of course, for those who are fortunate, by becoming monkey, that may be their last life, and then their next life, they will attain the ultimate destination. So we have to yield to this instruction. The Lord said, don't give up your duty, but remember me always. Think of me always. Smatavya Satatam Vishnu, Vishmatavya Jatuchit. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And the best way to do this remembrance is what? Chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This should always be done. This is what Mahaprabhu has teaches. Never stop chanting. Never give up chanting. You do this always. Then ultimately, remembering Krishna become automatic by constantly chanting his name. Remembering him become very automatic. So thank you very much. I am going to stop here. If there's any question, it's at the back here. You want to ask a question.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you. Thank you for a nice class. I wanted to ask, at the beginning you said that it is very difficult to become a temple manager. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it is difficult to become a temple manager?
Yeah, because being a manager means you, sometimes some people will see you as an enemy sometimes. Some people will see you as an enemy, and some will see you as friends. You have to make discrimination. You cannot be equal to everyone. You have to discriminate. So it's a difficult thing to be a manager. That's why Arjuna wanted to give it this. I don't want to fight. Because you have to see someone as a friend, as enemy. You have to see someone who is willing to serve, and the other person who doesn't want to serve, and they want to live in a temple at the same time. So you have to make all these assessments. I've been a manager, I know. It's not easy to be a manager over time.
But that is why exactly Arjuna was asked by Krishna to fight. Because he said there are going to be people like that, like Duryodhan.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it might end up in you fighting for your rights.
Exactly.
So even in the temple, there is a Mahabharata war going on.
Yeah, but devotees, because we are devotees, we came to join the ashram.
Yeah.
We came to join the ashram. We want to abandon what we are used to doing in the material world. So, but when the Guru said, manage the temple, so one has to do it, but it's a difficult job. But one has to do it because you have been given the duty to do it. So, but even though it's difficult, the conclusion never said that doing your duty is easy. I said, no, your duty is difficult, but you have to do it. So that's what the Lord said, even though your duty may be difficult, but still you have to do it. Because that duty is is for the satisfaction of the Lord. It's not for your own satisfaction. So therefore, it's a service that one does.
Because
either may be difficult or not difficult, still it's a service I want us to do.
in the material world, there's always a battle going on between truth and evil. And in the material world, there is always a battle going on between truth and evil.
Yes, of course.
And the same thing is in the temple, because, temples are open, anyone can join. So the wrong people may also join.
Yeah.
And they could also, take the highest posts.
It's always there. I've been doing this for the past 40-something years.
So therefore, the fighting will go on even in the temples. And we have to do that duty. So wherever we are, we have to do that.
So therefore, we have to be very, very Krishna conscious that yes, if our duty is to please the Lord, then it should be a joyful thing because we see it as it to please the Lord. But sometimes also if you say that, okay, I'm a temple manager because I'm very capable, this and that, then there will be problems also. So again, the whole point, focus is how to always remember Krishna. Regardless of what you do, regardless of what your duty is, how to always remember Krishna. And Krishna said that, remember me always thinking of me in whatever you may do.
So even in the temple, we have to remember Krishna and
Of
fight
course.
the evil that's going on.
Of course you have to remember
around
Krishna,
us.
always. I remember Krishna by chanting your mala. That's the best way to remember Krishna. And never give up chanting. Never stop chanting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
In this verse, mam anusmara. Mam anusmara means we should always, as you stress, always, at all times, we have to remember. So when I preach in South India, same marathon time, I distribute the books. Some of the people, they are doing, it is not the prescribed duty, meat sellers, wine sellers, slaughterhouse running peoples. I try to approach them, take the books and read the books. So one of the big slaughterhouse owner, he said, once I came to your temple, I heard one class, he heard this sloka from our temple president. So I always remember Krishna, I never forget, but this is the only business I know. Running the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
So how to understand this? How can we preach to them in that case?
So, we have to remember the pastimes of the hunter and Narada Muni. The hunter and the Narada Muni, hunter, who Narada Muni met in the jungle, and this hunter was busy killing so many animals. And then Narada Muni told him that this is very, very sinful, that all these animals that you've killed, they're going to kill you also in your next life. And so they're going to kill you also in your next life. So you must have known the story, the hunter and Narada Muni. So this hunter, after hearing from Narada Muni, and so he became very afraid. He said, okay, what should I do? So Narada Muni said, first of all, you have to throw away your arrow and give up this thing. And the other said, well, how can I do that? This is my way of living. This is my subsistence. And also my whole generations, this is what we do. So if I give up this thing, how can I survive? How can I maintain myself? So Narada Muni said, don't worry, I will make the arrangement. But give up your arrow and stop this killing. Because killing, slaughtering, this is the most very horrible, sinful life. And one cannot be Krishna conscious whatsoever if the act of slaughtering, killing is going on. It's very, very extremely sinful life. So which means the beginning process will be to give it up. If someone actually values his life, does not see himself as a killer of the soul, then this thing has to be given up. Another person ultimately has to depend on God. Okay, I want to give this thing up. Now let me depend on God. So the person can receive mercy, but that sinful act must be given up. He cannot say, oh, it's okay to continue being a butcher, a slaughterhouse, and at the same time, practice Krishna consciousness. That is not kind of duty that Krishna recommends. Krishna does not recommend that kind of duty. If one is leading a sinful life, the sinful life must be given up in order to practice Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it's just illusion, that's all. It's just illusion. So, yeah, that's just not that we have to say, okay, you have to give it up if you want to practice Krishna consciousness. If you want to be dear to God, be close to God, remember God, then you have to give up this sinful activity. Because it's a gross sinful activity. Killing animals and all that. And especially those who kill cows, and it's very horrible. And I'm sure it's a big sacrifice for you preaching to those kind of people. Also, you are doing a very big sacrifice to preach those kind of people. At least a wine drinker, let's say you go to a wine cellar, wine shop to preach to them. It's a different thing. I mean, they can give it up eventually. But the most horrible one is the butcher. Those who work in the butcher house, slaughterhouse. That's the most horrible. So you have to assess that. You just have to inflate that person that, okay, you want to relieve of sinful life, then you have to give this up. You have to give it up. Because it's a very gross, sinful life. Because, as I said, that for every animal that the person killed, he's going to come back. Those animals will kill him also in the next life. The animal will kill him next life. He's not going to get free. Nobody will get away from that. So you have to preach to them on that basis that all these animals you've been killing, they're going to come back and kill you also. You're not going to be free from that. They will kill you also. But if you take up Krishna consciousness, giving up this thing, take up Krishna consciousness, then you can be relieved of the reactions. You can be relieved. That's the thing. Any other question? Ladies? Anybody else want to ask something? You want to add something to it? Hare Kṛṣṇa, that's it? Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Gopi Manande. Hare Kṛṣṇa.